Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Wave the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka Hey You Get Off My Lawn, aka Kris, you're being creepy again. Wave the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun, meaning we do a lot of painting talk as well as a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So, first time viewers, be warned. And of course, if you're attending live, you can ask your questions in the chat, whichever direction it might be for you. I don't know. And if you're not able to attend live, you can submit your questions to Kris@wavethebrush.com. If you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send them off as links to other sites because it's pain. So don't do it. Please, please, please. Also in the description below is a link to wavethebrush.com, a central hub of all this silliness. Has links to all the social medias as well as Discord. Discord is a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling there 24/7, so join us on the Discord. It's, it's good. I only have one rule. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. It's the only rule. The only rule I got really in life is just don't be a dick. I don't be a dick, you don't be a dick, and everybody gets along, right? Pretty straightforward, I think. I mean, it's just sound philosophy. Also at wavethebrush.com is links for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Wave the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wavethebrush.com. And you'll also find a link for Patreon. I'm independent. This is how I keep the lights on. This is how I keep all this stuff rolling. So you want to help the channel out and help me out tremendously. Patreon is how we're going to do it. Of course, I got varying tiers of support. Click whatever makes sense to you. And, I have perks as well associated at different levels. So check them out. And, again, huge thank you to all my patrons who currently support me. And a huge thank you to everybody who's, just signed up. There's been a nice influx of people recently. So big welcome to all of them as well. Huge thank yous. And of course, if you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, sharing the video, talking, all the things satisfy the algorithm gods and, it helps this video get, pushed off to other people who might be interested in, so huge thank you to everybody. Speaking of thank yous, big thank you to Carl, aka Guymere Alfer, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out. If you love yourself some beer, you love yourself some Blood Bowl. We always take the time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that play before the email segment of the show. So always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the beginning and end of the show. So always much love to my baby bro Evan. And of course, if you're into rare comics, check them out. EB Comics. Link is in the description below. I know there's a bunch of you who are, love your comics, and some of you probably need that one to finish off the collection, and he might have what you're looking for, so check him out. The comics, not him. I mean, he's a good-looking dude, too, but, some might even say he's better looking than I. I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway. Who's joining us today? I can see Evan Belleau. Sup, everybody? Sup? Mike Grimshaw. If I spell your name Kris, Chris, will that start the show with you all riled up? Riled up? I don't know about riled up. I've dealt with that my whole life, the CH. And I'm not sure why that is. Why is it that CH is immediately the default for the spelling of Kris? I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. But will it set me off? No. I mean, I'm used to it by this point, and I just merely correct because for accuracy. Okay, it kind of annoys me a little bit. just a teensy weensy bit. Teensy. Goes to Starman Deluxe. Hey, yo! Won't be sticking around too long tonight. Going to the club. Ooh, very nice. Very, very nice. Have a good time and be responsible. Be responsible. My God, man, be responsible. Or don't. I don't care. I'm not your dad. Sir Peanut Butter. Morning, Kris and peeps. Morning. Aaron Seach. Sup, Kris and fellow monkeys. Happy Saturday. Remember, don't be a Richard. Yes. Of course, that is the number one rule, is don't be a Richard. I mean, I have been accused more than once of being a Richard, and rightly so. I mean, I can be a dick sometimes, and yeah. But I mean, it's just general sound advice for anybody out there, right? I mean, just don't be a dick, especially in this day and age, like for all of us here, just to keep this in the topic of being relevant with what we talk about most of the time. When you are at a gaming group, right, and somebody who you don't know enters and is displaying interest in what everybody's doing and ask questions, as they invariably will, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Just answer the questions as politely as they're asking it. Unless, of course, they come in and be a dick, then, well, they've got issues. Because, I mean, who immediately introduces themselves to somebody who you don't know anything about and then is immediately a dick? Like, Also, we're going to see how many times I can say dick in this show. So we're going to just say dick all the time. It's nothing but dicks. Butt dicks. Go Starman! How could anyone be better looking than the Great Monkey Lord? Doesn't add up. What is that emoji? Oh, it's like thinky face? It's a thinky face. How can anybody be better looking? I know, stop. But, I know. But it's the same DNA. It's like, that old DNA marinades around and, you pop out. And if you're dealing with good ingredients, you're dealing with quality ingredients, you get quality. It's just, it's just pretty simple. I think, I don't know, I could be wrong. I mean, I'm more than likely wrong, but... James and Kent, afternoon, Kris. Afternoon, everyone. Afternoon. It's getting. It was a warm one here in the Niagara area recently. Just the other day, it was warm. Oof, we even barbecued yesterday. And today, it's cool again. It's cool. I think it was the last ditch of sunlight and warmth in this area. So now, the bitter cold is approaching. Winter is coming. Destro Symphony. Ooh, that's a fun name. I don't think I've read that name before. Welcome, if I have not read that name before. You have probably answered this a zillion times. Yeah, that's fine. I'm more than happy to answer the questions. But what do you recommend for a decent starter spray paint setup? Thanks for chatting. A decent starter spray paint setup. Now, are we talking about like rattle can spray cans? Like when you say spray paint, is that what we're talking about? Like rattle cans? Or are you talking about airbrushing? If we're talking about rattle can spray paints, like spray paints, like most of the discussion on paints in general, like as far as hobby paints are concerned, it is entirely subjective. When you're relatively new to this, I recommend getting the affordable stuff. Rather than shelling out for the really high-priced name brand type of stuff, until you become more proficient and you outgrow particular products. There are some products that are geared towards entry-level type of people, and it's a natural progression. Don't take it as a negative thing when you are looking for things that are, because you're relatively new to this, that you go, well, what does somebody who's relatively new get into? And then, a lot of people, oh, what are you, new? And that's just poor behavior and bad manners. I mean, ultimately everybody should be helping everybody and not being a dick. Just don't be a dick, right? And, again, same thing applies here. But if you're talking about airbrushing, I've only ever used Badger. I've been airbrushing for about, 7 years, 8 years. I don't even know. I've worked with other airbrushes in the past, but I'm pretty sure they were Badgers as well. I'm on the North American side of things, so Badger is a North American company, and so. And not that played a factor in it. It's just, it's readily available everywhere, around here anyway. Same with a Wada as well. I think a Wada is, Oh, George Hintz, subscribing with some Prime. Thank you, George. I'll get to your comment there in a bit. So for airbrushing, I would recommend Badger, but a Wada and a few other brands are fine as well. They're all pretty comparable. You are going to shell out a fair penny, but I would recommend a Badger. And if I was recommending a particular Badger brush for entry level, I would recommend the Patriot 105. Not the Extreme. You can go with the Extreme, but it's not necessary. Go with the regular Patriot 105. Learn everything you can about taking care of it, disassembling it, because that is a process you are going to have to become very familiar with. At the very minimum, removing that needle and also removing the spring at the back. Just knowing how to take it apart and knowing how the parts go back together and how to clean it properly. Just knowing how to clean it properly is one of the big steps in getting into airbrushing. As far as airbrush paints are concerned, Badger's paints, Minotaur, they're very fine, good price, you get a lot of paint. And in airbrushing, you do end up using more paint than you normally would. There's a lot of waste in airbrushing. There's a lot of waste. So if wasted paint is a real concern to you, if your budget is, very, very controlled, then yeah, you might want to hold off on getting into airbrushing. Really got to ask yourself, is airbrushing something that I really need to get into? Or can I simply continue to master what I'm currently working on? Have I, got to ask yourself, have I already mastered dry brushing? Have I already mastered glazing, layering, blending, right? Have I mastered all these things? Assembly, priming, right? Have I mastered all these things? Not that airbrushing is for masters, because you could just as easily start out in airbrushing and, move into brush painting, and you know what I mean? Like, there are many different ways to the dark side, and, it's just where we kind of start, but with everything, you should learn it. So I'm not 100% sure. The way you said starter spray paint setup, I'm going to assume it was airbrushing you were talking about, but I try not to assume too much. And as far as spray paints are concerned, I mean, there's Citadel, there's Army Painter. Army Painter's good. I've used Army Painter plenty of times, and it's plenty good. Citadel's spray paints are fine. I like their white. The white is really good. And the new one, Wraithbone and Grey Seer, those are really fun as well. They're kind of like the white, and I like the quality, because most of the time when I'm using spray paints, I don't over prime. So sometimes you still will see a bit of the under material, whatever the model's made from, be it resin, pewter, or plastic. You will see a little bit of that. That is fine. Under priming is not as bad as over priming. Over priming creates this really deep texture on the surface, and your paint will act funny on there. Have you ever played with watercolor on watercolor paper, and you've ever seen how the color just bleeds everywhere? When you over prime, that's what happens, is the paint just bleeds into other areas, and it becomes very, very messy, and it's no fun. You're better off under priming, because that way, because all primer is just to provide a surface for your paint to grab hold of. That's really the main job of it. Why we get into colored primers is so that we can speed up our painting process for those who aren't that concerned with, spending a great deal of time on their miniatures, going for really deep colors and, all these kinds of things, right? They just want to get their models ready for the battlefield, and, that's really who it's more geared towards, is people who just want to get their models painted and have them on the table and look good, so, but yeah. But feel free, Destro, to kind of elaborate on that. Were you talking about airbrushing, or are you talking about spray paints? Because there's many different kinds of spray paints too. I mean, there's testers, there's Rust-Oleum, Liquitex. Liquitex has spray paints. You know what I mean? Like, There's all sorts of spray paints. Mike, episode 319, Nothing But Dicks. Mike Grimshaw, 319, Nothing But Dicks. Oh, Mike Grimshaw, is that the same Mike on both YouTube and Twitch? Mike, do you go by both on? Do you go both ways? It goes to Starman Deluxe. So basically, better ingredients, better monkeys. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Aaron Seach, it's the stash. Chicks dig the stash. There is an obvious joke to be had at that statement regarding mustaches and rides. Anyway. Just saying. Thermicus, the best thing about working from home, I can have you crazy cats on the background while I still get shit done. Yeah, that is that's dangerous. That's dangerous. You can also do it in your underwear and we would never know. Or just like Buddy, who was on a Zoom call and was masturbating during a meeting. Like, how batshit crazy is that? You know? Somebody's you're trying to do an important meeting and the guy's sitting there just pulling on himself and, you know, like, how fucking batshit crazy is that? TH, hi monkeys. What are you guys working on? I'm painting my Blood Bowl minis. Hella Rams. Is the second season of the box come out yet? I don't even know. Don't even know, man. George Hintz, I will be with you next week. I'm taking airbrushing class. Have a good weekend. Cool. He's taking airbrush class. I can't remember. He's in Carolina, I thought, right? So I wonder, hopefully everybody's practicing some social distancing there. Hopefully it's not a big class. Cigar Chompin' Sarge. Oh, that's a fun name. I don't think I've ever read that name before, so welcome. Hey, Kris. Just wanted to say that I love your blue-purple gradient on the Necron Overlord garb. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's easily, replicatable. Either way. And most of the time in tutorials, you know, it is like whenever I'm doing these things, you know, showing, you know, things on video and stuff like that, oftentimes I'm not, you know, looking to impress anybody. Really, it is more so that, you know, it is of value to more people than it is of fewer people. Meaning, there really are not that many people who are actively pursuing excellence in our hobby as far as miniature painting is concerned. There's really not that many. This is anecdotal, of course, but I mean, I'm not seeing that many people who pursue painting, miniature painting, to excel at it, right? To be excellent at it. I don't really see that. Everybody just pretty much wants to, you know how to do something, but will they employ it, right? Everybody wants to know how to do OSL and do an OSL with an airbrush or do OSL with a regular brush. But very few people actively are putting that knowledge to use, you know? And that's kind of unfortunate, but that's kind of where we're at, right? Everybody, you know, is watching it. And unfortunately, it's, you know, again, I've talked about this one in the past that, you know, are people painting, like, are people watching these videos just for the entertainment, or are they learning? Are you actively trying to learn so that you will, what you see on the video, you are employing? Or is it something that is on in the background and you know, it's like, okay, painter, what do you got? Oh, that's different. Or, oh, I've seen that a million times. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, because if you're judging it through that kind of lens and you're not actively pursuing the knowledge to excel your own abilities, then what's the point, right? And I come back and forth on that one as far as, you know, because sometimes I'm thinking that maybe I should just demonetize all my fresh tips and all my tutorials and just have them just for my patrons and take them off public and just go completely private with them. I think about that one sometimes too. You know what I mean? Like people who are like anybody who's supporting me, I know because a lot of you share your work actively in the Discord. Now, I'm not saying that I don't want anybody who's, just wants to support and, all that. I'm not discouraging any of that. But it's nice to see that so many of my patrons are actively putting the knowledge to use. And I see them all the time becoming better and better. As some of the monkeys that have been around for a while, I can see them getting better and better and better. And, that's awesome. That is awesome. But, again, what are we doing when we're consuming these videos, right? Are we actively trying to learn or, I don't know. But anyway. But a huge thank you, Cigar Chompin' Sarge. Yeah, I'm glad. Hopefully, you're putting it to practice. Disco Duke, there he is. Hey, Kris and Monkeys, managed to catch at least some of the show this week. Cool. Destro Symphony, yes, airbrushing, sorry. Yeah, no problem, dude. I just wasn't 100% sure because when you say spray paint, I mean, there's spray paints, right? And then there's airbrushing, and, But the thing, though, I will say, is that most of miniature painting, at least from what I've been able to see and what I've also actively done myself, when we're airbrushing, we're pretty much just spraying the model. Now I realize that airbrush is a mechanism of spraying, but meaning that it could just as easily be done with a rattle can, right? If you had a fine tip nozzle and just go in a little control, you could, if you put one of them little, like a WD-40 has that little nozzle on it, I don't know if anybody's ever tried it, but, that kind of thing is what I'm talking about. Like, we, as miniature painters, don't really use the airbrush as a brush. Actively, we don't. It's a spray. It's a fine-tuned spray. We don't use it like a brush. If you want to see people using an airbrush as a brush, go to, Autobody, go to Illustration, right? Those guys are the real airbrush artists. Anybody in this hobby, as far as being an airbrush, master, I would say that's a dubious claim. As people who are in Illustration and do Autobody, I believe them when they say, like Lester Bursley, I know he did Autobody and stuff like that. I believe him when he says he's an airbrush artist because, I don't consider myself an airbrush artist, even though I use an airbrush all the time. I don't consider myself an airbrush artist because I don't use the airbrush the way, like an actual brush. I just use it as a fine-tuned spray. And that's it. That's all it is, right? So, when you really start to break down and, examine these things, like what are we doing, right? And, me personally, I because this is all I do, I have time to sit around and think these kind of thoughts. These are the kind of thoughts that keep me up at night. Along with the voices. Mike. Nope. Is Mike apparently the same name? Oh, okay. Mike Grimshaw. I'll go both ways for you, Kris. Haha. On Twitch and Discord. I'm Heathen Cross. Oh, okay. No, you don't have to go both ways. I mean, if you want to. It's getting cold. James and Kid. Kris, when that new Blood Bowl box drops, I will be unbearable as you when new Eldar arrive. Well, the new Blood Bowl box is supposed to come out soon. I didn't know, because somebody was talking about painting up Blood Bowl. I thought maybe, they had already gotten the new box. Because I definitely want to get my hands on the new box. Because that new human team looks pretty damn good. And it's got Griff Oberwald already in the team. And I'm a long time... I still have my Griff Oberwald around. He's probably in my Blood Bowl box over there. But yeah, I still have... Or maybe I have him somewhere else. Either way, I still have the old Griff Oberwald. And I have the newer one. Where the hell is he? I think he's in one of my boxes. I got a bunch of crap sitting around I haven't gotten to. I did Griff Oberwald. I wasn't crazy about his initial pose, and I actually kind of leveled him out so that he's kind of more upright. As the model default is kind of just leaning too much for me, so I kind of straightened him up a bit. just by simply adjusting what he's standing on. I just put a water green stuff and sculpted into like a rock or whatever. And yeah, nothing major. Anyway. Where am I? Old Man Logan, happy frickin' Saturday, Kris and Monkeys. Happy frickin' Saturday, man. Frickin' yeah. Frick yeah. It's a frickin' Saturday. Frickin' frack. Go Starman Deluxe. Gotta head out now, fellas. Hopefully I'll catch the rest of the show on demand. On demand. And then little blue emoji. I don't know. It's some sort of thing. It's a thing. I don't know. Ben Ellis, great to see your take and depth of thought on the Void Dragon. Lovely to see all the attention to detail on the shaded areas. Regarding why do people watch, I watch not for how something is painted, but I watch how the method was employed. Okay. Episode 319, knowledge via osmosis. Okay, yes, I get it. I realize that there's a huge spectrum of reasons why people consume. And I'm just really kind of talking about, like the broadest of categories. Really, it's just, it's just so that I'm not wasting my time when I can be, pursuing creative endeavors, right? And so, I'm always looking to try and refine and become more efficient, right? Efficient use of my time. And, the way the algorithm works on YouTube, it services sensationalism and it perpetuates it. And so, when actual knowledge is being put forth, it's not received. It's not spread. But I think that's indicative of the society we live in anyway. So, whatever. Thermicus, I actually use your videos for ideas and inspiration. I can take your techniques and employ them into the paints I have available. I have learned a lot. Good. I'm glad. That's, that validates my thoughts on these things. Otherwise, yeah, I would probably do something else if this was all a huge waste of time. Rezia, way of the brush. Yes, it's Saturday, man. Are you surprised that I'm on right now? I mean, it's Saturday. I do this every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm always here. I work from home, man. I got nothing better to do on a Saturday, apparently. TH, what do you figure is the best NFL scheme for the new Blood Bowl humans? GW kind of threw curveball with an all-new team. Well, there's new orcs, new orc models, and new star player. The star players and the monsters automatically come in the box, which I think is like really freaking cool, right? But as far as the humans, nobles, man, yeah, that's a tough one, right? Because if you've already gone through, well, you haven't done the whole 36 teams? I don't think you've done all 36, so let's take your pick. Who haven't you done yet, right? I mean, like my team from the previous box set, I was doing them up as Steelers, and so I was talking with my son because we're gonna pick up the box because he's a big NFL nut, and we were talking about like what would we do these humans as, and well, not me. Because he doesn't really paint, and he loves to play, but he just doesn't paint, But anyway, and so we were thinking of doing the division, and so one will get done up as Bengals, and we were thinking that actually doing the nobles up as the Bengals would actually be pretty fun. Browns, the orcs being the Browns would be fun, and then we talked about doing another team as the Ravens. I can't remember who it is now. Because we're talking about the humans. Oh, because I have the old orcs. So doing the old orcs as the Ravens. and the new orcs as browns, the nobles being Bengals, and then I have the Steelers already. So yeah, we were thinking about sticking within the division and just do them up. So yeah, if I do the humans up, they'll be surprised if I do them up like the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, having said that, hopefully, because I've painted them up like the Bengals, hopefully they don't actually perform like the Bengals. Anybody who doesn't really keep up with NFL, not going to really get that one, but anyway. Reziel, I was late for the question. What question? I don't know what the question. TH, there aren't 32 unique color schemes though. If I do Patriots, Irula, Texans, Giants, etc., too much overlap for little minis. Yeah, some of them, the colors do kind of look the same, but it's all in about the arrangement, right? Because like the Texans, even though they are kind of a red, white, and blue kind of color scheme, they're not the same as Patriots. At a distance, you don't confuse the two. Although, yeah, I suppose. But yeah. I don't know. I mean, with the Nobles, doing them as Patriots, right? Seems kind of appropriate, no? Of course, you can do them as the Bucks. All gold. Gold and black and red. Or brown and red. Bronze and red. What color is the Bucks? That's more of a dark bronze and red. Do them like the Bucks. Because the Bucks are kind of an all-star team right now. It's like the 2015 Pro Bowl team playing out there right now. Aaron Seach, you could do them as Washington football team. I mean, aristocratic humans seems fitting considering Washington is full of aristocratic humans and snakes. Jeez. Sharing our opinions already. Yeah, Washington would be fine too. Yeah, I mean, like, you can paint these human nobles up in any color scheme. I mean, if you wanted to play into it, well, if they're the nobles, then they would be legacy type teams. So you could paint them up like, Green Bay or, any of the long-standing teams from the original, football, the first NFL teams, right? You can go all sorts of routes. Painting them up. And of course, even if you have duplicate teams, you can always paint them in their away colors and the color rush, right? So, it doesn't have to be confined to their default. You can play within their own themes. TH, I'm hoping to do High Elves as old school Bucks. Raziel, I guess the question was something about why we watch content. Yeah, it's something I've talked about in the past, like why people are watching particular videos. Are they watching it just for entertainment, or are they actively trying to learn? For the most part, I think that people are just looking for entertainment and not so much actively looking to learn. I gear my videos towards those who are looking to learn, and my videos are not going to be sensational, terribly controversial. This show is about as controversial as I'll get, just because I'll talk any kind of craziness because it's good for a laugh. But that's about it. Thermicus. It's currently 50 degrees in central Texas. I'm enjoying some medium roast coffee with locally sourced orange blossom honey to help with allergies. And working. Good times. Well, as long as you're working and having a good time, sure. Awesome. TH, and I'm thinking maybe Saints for the Noble Saints. Yeah, Saints would be a fun color scheme. Maybe some added color with green and purple feathers like Mardi Gras. Interesting. I think if you went for a Saints uniform, I think I would go with the all white with the gold. Just because that feels very, noble, right? The feathers, you could do them up like the bright feathers, yeah. Or even like peacocks, right? Put a peacock on there. Shit, you can even use some metallics. Get them like glistening, you know, like a peacock feather. I like it. Either way, send pics. Charles Carmichael. Hi, Kris. Hi. Aaron Seach. Would take some research, but the old NFL Europe team, the London Monarchs, would be a cool scheme for them. Sure. I mean, any scheme will work. I mean, you know. You can confine it to actually painting them up like nobles or going for any kind of crazy-ass color scheme. The big thing to take away here is they're your models, and you can paint them up however you want. You bought them. You bought the paints. You bought the models. There's nothing out there saying that they have to be painted in this particular fashion. Nothing. Nobody's going to come knocking on your door. There's nobody going to come check. You can paint them up however you like. So, in that spirit, sure, paint them up. You want to paint them up like the, London Monarchs? Go right ahead. You want to paint them up bright rainbowy colors? Go right ahead. You want to paint them up in, you know, I don't know, whatever. Whatever the hell you want. Another good one, too, that had some interesting color schemes was the XNFL. XNFL? XFL? XFL. They had some fun color uniforms until it died, of course, but, you know, the uniform colors were pretty cool. Some of them obviously are inspired by, you know, NFL teams and such, but, you know. Ebb and Flow, episode 319. Kris says, you can play with it. You can play with it. Go right ahead. It's yours. Well, I don't know what it we're talking about. When the hell did I say you can play with it? You can play with it. Again. Yeah. You can flick it around, pinch nuck it, whatever you want. You can do with it. You can do whatever you want. Somebody out there's like, really? Can I pinch nuck it? And if some of you might not know what a pinch nuck is, it's like, you know, this move, you know. Forget I mimed that one. Razia, well, I am definitely watching a lot of various content to learn, but also for entertainment. You have taught me a lot over the years. Well, cool. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing, Christopher Reich. Job is left nut. I watch your content for the eye candy. I'm like the guy on Zoom. I don't know what that is. I don't get that reference. I don't know what that means. Catfish. Shotgun beers. You know, I haven't had a beer in a few weeks. Maybe it's time for a beer. I don't know. It's getting cold, so I don't really get in the mood for a beer. It's like when it's cold, you really are not in the mood for a beer. You need something a little harder. Something with that'll, you know, give you some chest hair. Something with some chest hair on it. TH Blood Bowl is so cartoonish, almost no color schemes seem out of place. Well, not although you said it right there. Blood Bowl is so cartoonish. So why not paint them in a cartoon fashion? With bold, solid colors, you know, abrupt highlights, abrupt shadows, you know, kind of like a cell shading, right? Why not? Just dive right into it, you know? Why not? They're your models again. You can do whatever you want with them. Catfish, The Rock bought XFL, and it's coming back again. Yeah, I heard that one, The Rock. I honestly wish him luck. I wish The Rock luck, because I don't know. And apparently the rumor was that he was actually gonna play. I was like, I don't know, Rock. I mean, Rock's in good shape, but I imagine after a couple games he's gonna be sore as fuck. Because even just thinking about, you know, being my age, going back out on the field, and I'm not in shape, but if I was in shape, even still, the older you get, man, the injuries you sustain, it takes longer and longer. Like, as you get older, it takes longer and longer to heal. Young people bounce right back. Older people, oh man, some injuries can last like a year, for God's sakes. A simple bruise can sit there for months. Aaron Seach, episode 319. You can play with it all you want. You can play with it all you want. You know what? I like it. I like it, Aaron. We're going with it. We're going with it. We'll do it live. Catfish. Give him the old pinch and roll. I don't know about the pinch and roll. Pinch knuck. It's called a pinch knuck. I don't know if that's what they call it in your parts. I don't even know where you are. Could be just down the street from me. I have no idea. But yeah, we're going with that. We're going with that. You can play with it all you want, and you know that's just some sound life advice. You know, of course, don't play with it too much because you go blind. I mean, look at me. I wear thick glasses. TH Chubbs left nut. I got it. It was a good joke. Oh, see, I didn't get that. Oh, you're talking about the guy on the Zoom call. Oh, I get jokes. He's sitting there pulling his pud while the show's on. That's what he's saying. Oh, see, when you got to explain it right, it loses all humor. Catfish XFL was fun to watch. It wasn't bad. I don't know, Catfish. You ever watch CFL? At least CFL. Like CFL is fun. It's only 3 downs, and they can still hit. So, you know, yeah, and you don't get half as many, pass interference calls. If you want to watch some football, if you like, more college football, yeah. James Kent, they're my models, so I'm not removing mold lines and leaving them gray. Seems you have taught me nothing. Taught me nothing. Yeah. I mean, again, yeah, they're your models. I mean, if you don't want to clean the mold lines, you want to leave them gray, go right ahead. They're your models. Do it. You know. Now, am I going to be really fired up to play a game against you? Not really. You know. Especially when we're playing on a beautiful table, and I've spent hours and hours and hours of getting my models all looking pretty and gussied up for their day out, and then you show up and you have, torn socks and underwear with the elastic band barely hanging on, and you know what I mean, and belly hanging out of your shirt, and you know what I mean, like didn't shower in 2 weeks, and you showing up with gray models. I'd be like, no, fuck this, I'm not playing. I got all prettied up for nothing. Banshun, hey Kris, and Les Signes. Hi, Banshun. Aaron Seach, dude, I retired from semi-pro football at 36, and I still fucking hurt. Yeah, I believe it, dude. Rezia, I tested an antique look on some custodes recently, and I think it was good effect. Ultimately, though, I repainted them more standard gold. It just looks so good. Sure, I mean, I think, like, for characters and stuff, you could go with, like, more of an antique-y type of gold. I wouldn't push the effect too far. I would give more hints towards it, just so that, you have more of a coherent kind of, vibe. Either, they all look like all rust. There's a big old dog hair flying through the air. They either look like a big old rusty army, or ancient army, or they look proper. But I think that anybody who's standing guard over the Emperor of Man, I would assume that their armor has to look meticulous, and it doesn't make sense why these guys are out fighting wars. That makes no sense to me. But whatever. But the guys who are guarding the Emperor, they sure as shit would have their armor polished, right? It's like the Emperor's guards. They're standing there, and they're supposed to look perfect and ready at a moment's notice, right? That's the whole point of them. Why they're off on some far-flung campaign fighting against Tyranids, I have no idea. Why they're away from Earth, I have no idea. That makes no sense to me. Who thought that was a good idea? I'm not entirely sure, but it goes against the lore. Right? People talk about shit going against the lore. They talk about like female space marines. Oh, they can't have it. It's against the lore. What about fucking custodes leaving Earth? Like, nobody has any issue with that. Grey Knights fighting anything other than demons. Nobody has issue with that. Nobody. No? Fucking lies. It's all lies then. It's all bullshit. It's all lies. You're all full of shit. You know. I almost said something really bad there. No, I'm trying not to say it. It's bullshit. So, if the Custodes can leave Earth and go off fight wars instead of protecting the Emperor, who's the central thing guiding force in the universe for humans, if they can leave his side and go fight a fucking battle, and Grey Knights aren't taking care of demons, they can go fight a bunch of orcs. Okay then. There can be female Space Marines. Stop arguing about female Space Marines. There can be female Space Marines. You know what's one trope that is not explored within Warhammer 40,000? Which is kind of interesting. It's been in fantasy for a very long time. And I'm sure you're already guessing what I'm going to say. The hybrid. The elf-human hybrid. How come there's no human-elf hybrids? Seeing that even in 40k, elves and humans are pretty close. Right? How come they haven't played into that? How come there's no faction of, Eldari Terran mixture? Especially when, so many worlds were cut off from the Earth, 20,000 years ago, right? How come there's not a planet of that, humans who landed on an Exodite world, became friends with the Eldar, and everybody started getting groovy with each other, and then, 20,000 years later, there's these human Eldari hybrids walking around. And would they even be hybrids? They would be just, a complete amalgamation, because the whole planet was just kind of, just getting it on, really. So, how come we've never explored that in the lore? Instead, no. If they want new armies, they give us Grey Knights. They give us Custodes. All right. But they can't update my fucking Eldar. Reziel, using Apothecary White right on top of gold is actually pretty interesting. Yeah, I can see that. And that, in fact, if you thin it out quite a bit, well, not quite a bit, but, you apply it very thin, the slight blue cast that Apothecary White has would give you, on top of gold, would give you slight green hues, I would imagine. And that would look like an oxidized... but I mean, like, gold, if their armor is gold, well, who would make gold armor? Gold is soft, right? Gold wouldn't make good armor. So it's just a covering. Or unless, of course, the metal itself is some sort of alloy that looks like gold. Whatever. Sci-fi reasons, right? So anyway, yeah, I'd imagine Apothecary White probably would work pretty cool. Yeah, I agree. I can see it. Never done it, but I can see it. Ben Ellis, bleh, 2 weeks. Bleh. Bleh. I don't know what we're talking about. 2 weeks. I don't know. Scott Radum. The Rock can't play in the XFL. They're still drug tested. Are you saying that the Rock juice is up? Is that what you're saying? The Rock's all juiced? Rezio. Well, I was experimenting with gold on Satan Deceiver, and it got me hyped for sexy gold mixtures. So cool. Cool. Charles Carmichael. Not a huge soccer fan, but I like some of the color schemes used in some teams. Check Italian Florenta team. They use some interesting combos I've used as inspiration to paint some models. Cool. Yeah, that sounds cool. No, I'm not that familiar with soccer uniforms. I know there's a big red one, there's a blue one, there's a white one, and a green one, and I know every country has soccer teams, so, there's a whole shit ton of soccer teams. But anyway, yeah, I mean, find your inspiration wherever it is, and, don't make excuses. I mean, if you wanted your Space Marines to be painted up in the McDonald's color scheme, fucking do it, right? Just do it. Don't make excuses. Do it. Simple. Your models, you paid for the paint, you paid for the models, you can paint them however the hell you want. They're yours. They are yours. And people give a shit about it. Well, they're only demonstrating their lack of imagination. Ben Ella's custodians got written into the lore, though. Why not write into the lore? Then their problem with the problem is the problem. Right. Well, custodes got written into the lore, though. No, custodians have been around since Rogue Trader. The custodes have been around since the inception of Warhammer 40,000, because the Emperor has always been envisioned as this guy in the chair, and he's, on life support, keeping humanity alive, and he needs bodyguards, and like his palace is supposed to be full of these custodes all over the place, and they're guarding him. That's the custode's job. In fact, it's custodian, right? They're maintaining the palace. They're guarding the palace against anybody who would try and attack the Emperor. Like, I would imagine in Warhammer 40,000, our whole solar system is like a massive fortress system. Like, the entire system would be impenetrable to anything trying to get at it, because there would just be so many defenses, starships and orbital defenses, and just all sorts of crazy crap that, it would just be impenetrable. So maybe that's why the custodes get a day off and they go fight wars. I don't know. Either way, having custodes leave Earth is dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. You're not going to convince me otherwise. You're not going to convince me otherwise. Okay, well, you might be able to convince me. Rezia, well, custodes lore. I kind of agree with you, but they did write in the reasons. Tigurius was originally a half Eldar, by the way. Was originally a half Eldar. It was retcon before 5th. See, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Tigurius, the Ultramarines librarian. Yeah, I don't remember saying, because I have. Do I still have my Ultramarines book? I can't see it. But anyway, yeah, I don't remember that. James Kent, hybrids, because sometimes the guardsmen get lonely away from home. Right. Well, no, I mean, like, if you were imagining, if you wanted to shoehorn in a new faction, right? A human Eldari hybrid, why not? During the great expansion of humans, colony ship lands on a world that's an Eldar maiden world. There's Exodites on the world, and there's these human Exodite hybrids, right? There's some that are more Eldari, and there's some that are more human, but then there's a vast majority of them that are a mixture of the two, and they have a combination of human tech with, Eldari tech. Why not? Why not? Why not? Right? Why couldn't that happen? Then, of course, you get into the really funny stuff like, well, then what about human orc hybrids? Or, But I mean, like, in Tyranids, they always talk about, like, the mixture, right? They take the DNA of the orcs and then they incorporate it into the troops and makes them big and scary. They take the DNA of the humans and, or the Space Marine, right? So, DNA-based life, right? I guess really the question is DNA-based life malleable with other DNA-based life, right? Don't know. That's something to find out, I guess. Where the hell am I? Rezia, LOL. Yeah, sci-fi reasons on the armor. They call it armorite. Armorite? Am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? And it's supposed to be super rare, of course. Right. It's like vibranium, right? Or adamantium. Am I right? Am I right or am I wrong? Captain Let's Dance. Love that name. Captain Let's Dance. Let's dance. This video title got me very intrigued. Yeah. That's why we do it. And the titles, Captain Let's Dance, I don't know if you've ever tuned in before, but, the titles of this show have almost no bearing of what the greater of the whole thing was. It's usually a very silly moment within the show, and we just go, yeah, screw it, let's name the show that. In fact, I blame you guys for the title of this show. Anytime the title of this show is really kind of provocative or whatever, it's you guys. I blame you guys. So if YouTube comes to me and says, hey, you know what? Your titles of your show are really fucked up. Stop it. I'm going to say, well, it's the viewers. The viewers name the show. So, it's not my fault. I blame them. I blame my viewers. Oh, man. Ben Ellis, no, they can leave Terra. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, anybody can leave Terra, sure. But why would they? They're supposed to guard the Emperor. The Custodes, that's their job. Right? That's their job. It's like, well, I guess we're getting into really kind of dumb sci-fi reasons again, but it's like the Adeptus Arbites. Making an army of Adeptus Arbites, going to a world and, fighting chaos. Right? Load them onto a ship, drop onto a planet, and they're fighting a war. That doesn't make any sense. Adeptus Arbites are the police force within human worlds. They would not go into a battle. Sure, the scenario could arise that, yes, there's an invasion and all the Arbites are fighting these aliens. Sure. But that would be a rare occurrence. The Custodes leaving Earth. Why? I mean, that's gross dereliction of duty. First of all, duty. And, you know what I mean? Like, if I was the High Lords of Terra, I'd be like, you guys aren't supposed to fucking leave the planet. So, what the fuck? Get back, guard that guy. Because he's got to keep his flashlight on. So, make sure you change his AA batteries. Thermicus, never let people bully you into painting models the way they see them. Your models and paint. Go ham and do it how you want. Exactly. That's exactly it. And I think that's a very important lesson for a lot of people to learn. A lot of times, especially like, for example, you buy a Blood Angel model and you paint it blue because you like it, because it looks cool. And you paint the wings, red, whatever, right? Whatever you want. Imagine whatever scenario you want. You take a model that looks like he's got a pre-described color scheme. It's your model. You can paint it up however you like. Nothing's saying that model cannot be painted in any other fashion. It's not in the rules. The rules don't say, no, this, Mephiston has to be painted with a red cloak. It doesn't say that. You can paint it however you want. And that's a rule I've lived by. And I've given people crap. I've teased people in the past. I have a friend. His Space Wolves, bright fucking yellow. Like almost neon yellow. They're just bright yellow. And we tease them all the time for having bright yellow Space Wolves. But you know what? No, they're your models. You paint them up however the hell you want. I was a younger fella at the time, and I had, I had my opinions of things. And of course, as we grow older, our opinions can change. Sure. That's just personal growth, right? And yeah, I realized that, they're his models. He spent the money on them and he can paint them up however the hell he wants. And as long as he's happy, ultimately, what does it matter what I think or what other people think, right? It doesn't. It does not matter. It does not matter what other people think. They're yours. This is your happy time to paint. Sit back and relax. Kick back. Put the woes of the work week behind you. Sit down. Start cutting out your models. Putting some primer down. Putting some paint on them. And enjoying them on your shelf. You play some games with them? Sure. You don't? Sure. Right? Doesn't matter. This is your time, and you spend it however you want, As long as it doesn't interfere with people. What do I care? Why would you even care what other people thought? Ben Ellis. It was written into the lore in 8th edition. I know they maintain it, but if you read the 8th edition codex, then it explains what they do as it more than just the palace. Yeah. Well, then then there can be female Space Marines. So why not? Female Space Marines. Make it happen. Go ahead. Anybody who argues against female Space Marines is a fucking tool. It can happen. If the Custodes don't have to remain on Earth and the Grey Knights don't have to fight just demons, then you can have female Space Marines. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Rezio, Targaryen's original backstory as 40k Spock was reason behind the level of psychic power. I thought it was cool, but I think they wanted to go with the heavy xenophobic route with the Imperium. Yeah, Targaryen has been around since 2nd edition, and I don't remember reading that in his entry, that he's some sort of hybrid. I don't remember that, so that had to have been something else they retconned. And yeah, I mean, because to my knowledge, there has never been mentioned. I could be wrong about that in early stuff, but never been mentioned of human Eldar hybrids. Mike, it's not all interchangeable. That's why you don't see cat-dog hybrids walking around. Well, no, because cats and dogs really are not that dissimilar. Their DNA, they share a common ancestor. So, you know, the fact that you don't see them now, yeah, the DNA has diverged, but they have a common ancestor, so the DNA could revert, right? But my question being is something that's not DNA, you know, like could DNA from two different worlds? But see, DNA on Earth, for the most part, can be traced back to, you know, common sources. I need to have the same number of chromosomes to have a chance at interbreeding. Right. But you could assist that as well. You could manipulate that. Right? If it's simple as ones and zeros. John J. Hello. Hello. Rezio. If Arbites were in Necromunda, I would be playing it already. Well, they are. Arbites are in Necromunda. Well, they're the enforcers. They're Palatine enforcers now, but they're still the police. Hurry up, GW, and make them so you can take more of my money. Ben Ellis at Kris. I blame us for the episode names too. Yeah, I blame you guys. I blame you guys. Anybody asks, if YouTube comes to me and says, Kris, we got to do something with your show titles, I'm gonna be like, don't talk to me. Talk to my fans. Like, they're the crazy assholes who named the show. That's right, crazy assholes. I'll refer to them. They're not the monkeys anymore. They're the crazy assholes. Rezio. Oh man, there is always a strong debate over Blood Angel's correct helmet colors on the big Blood Angel Facebook group. Controversial, LOL. Yeah, I doubt it. Again, Blood Angel helmet color. Why? Like blue for the Devastators and yellow for the Assaults and white for the Veterans, or I think it was, right? Isn't that the way it goes? Or gold for the Veterans? That's like if you're going to play Blood Angels and you want to paint them up so that they're like their codex and their codex entries, nothing wrong with it. Again, your models, paint them up however you like. Right? But when you start telling other people how to paint their models, that's a problem. Just like in real life, well, this is all real life, but when you go around and tell other people how to live their life, what they can do and do not with their body, and all these other things, when you start trying to tell other people how to do things in their lives, you're in the wrong. You're in the wrong for pushing your views on other people. Don't. People are free to do as they wish, as long as it doesn't interfere with other people. And when you're telling other people that what they're doing is not right according to your rules, you're interfering with them. You're in the wrong. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. John J. I paint minis to attract the chicks. Of course. Same reason I got into miniature painting. Man, I mean, like, back in my day, before the internet, rolling in pussy. Rolling in it. Like, yeah, like, I could not keep the girls away. They said, oh, you paint miniatures? You're into Warhammer 40,000? Holy shit. Let's do it behind the dumpster right now. You know what I mean? I was going to get really crude with that, but I decided against it. Just in, favor of good taste. Like, yeah, right. Good taste. Give me a break. Yeah, but seriously though, that's why I got into miniature painting, man. Was all the chicks in this hobby. Like, there's so many girls. Like, you guys don't even know. So much tail out there. Charles Carmichael. You paint your minis or your models. It's your happy time. Okay, Bob Ross moment. Feeling so relaxed right now. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. They're your models. You know what I mean? Like, if you, no matter what, you don't even need a reason. They're your models. It's your hobby time. You want to sit down, relax. Do it by all means. You want to chill out, have some music playing in the background, paint your models, whatever is your happy time. Hobbies are, supposed to be relaxing, supposed to be enjoyable, right? If you're not having fun in this hobby, you are not relaxed, you are not enjoying yourself, you might need to go, self-reflect and, find a new hobby. You might have to, if it's not doing that for you, right? Aaron Siege, crazy show names. I have no idea what you're talking about. No, you won't have. John J. Blood Angels have great helmets. I'll bet she gives great helmet. Jobs Left Nut. Wouldn't Blood Angels helmet be purple? No, I'm not going there. Resia, I'm sorry, Kris. Those Palatine Enforcers are not Arbites. I know. Similar to your dislike of the Custodes being an army and not just guards, I guess. Sure. But I mean, the Palatine Enforcers, again, model aesthetics change. Have you ever looked at the old Arbite models? I was recently flipping through a book and I seen the old Arbite models and I was kind of, no, I'm glad they went with how the Enforcers look now. They look more legit. The old Enforcers, very simplistic, very simple sculpts. And, and again, they have that same kind of squat quality to them. And no, the way the Enforcers look now, they look like legit 41st millennium cops. Or SWAT team really is what they are. Not cops. They're not cops. They're not walking around, giving tickets and stuff like that. They're going around with their sticks and mucking people's heads in, right? So, but it's a pretty brutal, universe that Warhammer 40,000 is supposed to be. So, it fits. Aaron Seach, miniature painter / panty dropper. Exactly, man. I know. It's the only reason I do this hobby is for all the tail, man. That's why I got into it. At least that's what the guys told me. John J. It's my hobby, and I'll paint how I want to. I paint how I want to. Reziel, the Blood Angels helmet question got somewhat complicated with the Primaris units breaking the classic rolls game. Roll sum. Okay. I'm not that familiar with it. Yeah, because I guess because the Primaris don't follow the Codex, right? Because there's no Devastator units, and there's kind of the Assault units. I don't know, because what are aggressors? Are they Assault or are they Devastator? Because the whole unit of them have big fuck off guns. So are they Devastators or are they Assault unit? Because they fly around with jetpacks. What are they? Are they Assault Devastators? Brand new thing. Maybe that's where you fit the purple helmet in. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, Primaris stuff, yeah, it doesn't fit. So, are we doing a rewrite? Is this a slow? Are they slow walking us to a rewrite? Is that what Games Workshop's doing right now with Space Marines? Because I'm still convinced that they're dropping all the squat Marines. They're getting squatted. Squat Marines are getting squatted. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with it. I don't care. I mean, these new Marines, I like them. They're big, They look like Space Marines. Their proportions are good, right? Primaris Marines look cool. You compare a Primaris sculpt next to a regular Marine, and it just it looks ridiculous. It looks ridiculous. And no. It's gonna bust into a Sammy Davis. Anyway. Sorry, I had to talk with my mouth on the side. Jobs of Nut. Can we have a tutorial on painting Blood Angels purple helmets? I should just trigger everybody. Again, though, I don't do sensationalism. I don't do it because I just don't do it. It serves no purpose. It has no lasting value. I like creating something that has lasting value. Being sensational is merely being somewhat topical. A year from now, it's irrelevant. It's trivial. Whereas providing actual knowledge and information and teaching, that's lasting. That's lasting. So that's why I do it. And I have no interest in being sensational. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Reziel, they're basically judges. Judge Dredd. I want the old school vibe. And sorry. I'm doing my enforcers. You just said it right there. You guys probably can't even see what that is, but it's not a bag of crack, I swear. It's it's a form of crack. It's resin crack. It's plastic crack. Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do my enforcers. But I'm gonna do mine proper Dredd. Comic book, not the movies. They're cool, but no. David Brunfeld. Wow, I got into mini painting to put paint on minis. Never thought about anything else with this hobby. Yeah, sure. I mean, like some people really enjoy the lore, the background, right? Reading all the stuff. That's a hobby. Reading can be a hobby. So reading all about Warhammer 40,000 in the universe and, whatever, the Horus Heresy, all that stuff, right? There's people out there who are just right into that. That's the hobby for them, right? That's as far as they want to go. They have no interest in playing the game. They have no interest in painting miniatures. Nothing wrong with it. Go right ahead. Enjoy yourself. There are those who are just interested in painting and, and even just painting their miniatures. They're not concerned with, winning awards or, creating the finest color blends or, worried about color scheme or, like they just want to paint their models so they look cool on their shelf. They like them. They make them happy. And that's all it takes. That's what your hobby's supposed to do for you. You're supposed to be happy with it. If you're not happy, then, you got to look elsewhere. You might have to move on. Some people in the hobby like the gaming, not that concerned with the lore, not that concerned with, the painting aspect, right? Again, nothing wrong with it. Perfectly acceptable. It's their hobby, right? Do with the hobby as you will. And, it's all it takes. It's all it takes. Mr. Pilak, with these new styles of hobbies breaking more into mainstream, you may actually land a hottie these days. My friendly local gaming store is full of hotness these days versus 20 years ago. I guess that all depends on where you are in the world. If you are, I don't know. I've never encountered it. Now, mind you, I mean, if I was gay and I was into dudes, the hobby would, most times would be pretty good pickings, especially, if I was looking for a like-minded individual. Sure. But yeah, no. I'm being very, very sarcastic when I'm saying I got into this hobby because of the tail. Reziel, are incursors battle line or close support? Yeah, it's questions like that which started the debates again. It is actually clearly listed if you go to their right places, but people disagree. Yeah, I have no idea. Carl Urban in Dredd was amazing. Sure. Yeah. I mean, Dredd was good. I enjoyed it. David Brunfeld, I need to work on my jokes. I did not think about women when I thought about painting minis. Oh, is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Well, I've stated before here, like, when I got most of my painting done was when I was between girlfriends way back in the day. You know, yeah, there's certain points. Now, I can only speak as a man. I can't speak to anybody else out there. But in my experience, I took breaks from this hobby when I was between girlfriends, when I was starting a family, and of course when I was working a lot of hours. You know, I just really didn't feel like doing any hobby. And there was like a year or two, I just did nothing. I had my game room all set up. I had a table, I had terrain. You know, we used to play pretty regularly, but you know, it just was no time. So yeah, that's when That's when I've taken breaks. But again, it's a hobby. It's when you have free time, right? Now, these days, last like damn near 10 years now, getting on 10 years, I've been doing this professionally. Well, this is my job. So this is no longer a hobby for me. And anybody who creates content online in this genre, this is a job now. This isn't a hobby for us, you know? So, you know, I don't paint miniatures in my free time because painting miniatures, I can monetize it and I can, you know, make a living at it. So why would I do that? You know, I'd rather, if I'm going to paint, I'd rather paint something else. I'd rather work on something else. I enjoy this very much. Most of my life, 30 years I've been in this, well, somewhere around that. 88 is usually where I equate it, was when I jumped in, 88. And, you know, last 10 of 30, you know, I've been doing it professionally, and it really has not been a hobby to me. I still game to have fun. You know, the gaming part is still a hobby for me because I don't game on camera. I've been meaning to, just haven't gotten around to it. The reading part, I read, you know, when I remember to. I've been reading Legion, and yeah, I'm like still in the first bit of it, and I haven't gotten back to it yet. It's been a month. But it was, so far it was pretty fun, but you know, yeah. Anyway. David Brunfeld, oh no, Thermicus. I guarantee the models don't care how you paint them. No, the models don't care. The models don't care. I can almost guarantee it. The probability that models feel any kind of emotion, I'm willing, the probability is like next to zero. Razia, are you doing any videos on that Necromunda conversion, Kris? Am I doing any videos? I was planning on it, yeah. It's something that I probably should get started on soon, because I mean, I have all my Necromunda stuff that is just sitting there, and I haven't done anything with it yet. Because I wanted to do some, I wanted to film some of the work on doing some of the terrain from Dark Uprising, and I wanted to build my Chaos Fane for my Corpse Grinders. I also wanted to do the Enforcers, and I wanted to do them in the theme that I wanted to do them in, and I picked up the heads for it. So, yeah. But I also was struck, because I wanted to do... I also wanted to paint up this lovely little miniature as well. And so I might actually get to this sooner than later, because I have an idea that I want to commit to this model and, you know, play with the idea that I have for this. And yeah, I'm not going to paint it up like anything else that I've painted in the past for my Eldar. I want to do something different. And in fact, it gave me the idea that maybe when and if they ever do all the Phoenix Lords, I will probably do them in this fashion. That's what I'm thinking. John J. Hey, Kris, did you catch Tabletop Minions topic this past Friday? No. What are your thoughts on GW's rule giving you extra victory points for painted minis? Sure, why not? Yeah. I don't know. Most of the time, I play with painted minis, so... it doesn't hurt me. And, you know, sure. Why not? I mean, first of all, the rule book, at least they used to say in the rules in the past, it used to say right in the rule book that these are more like a guide. Take and add, take and leave whatever you want from the rules and play the game however you want, right? So, in the spirit of this is your hobby, you can do with it whatever you want. Warhammer 40,000. If you don't want to play with that rule, guess what? You don't have to. You don't have to play with that rule. You can play the game however you want. Now, where we start to run into issues is house rules and tournaments. Right? Well, house rules, you go to somebody's house, and they play a game a certain way. Guess what? To be respectful of your host, then play the fucking game that way. If you go to a tournament and it's part of their rule set and they're playing with that rule, guess what? Be a good guest and play by their rules. Pretty simple, right? There's no issue. There's no issue. There is zero issue. Anybody taking issue with it is a fucking tool. Again, can't believe it. Gotta say it. I can't believe I gotta say it all the time. That fucking tools. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, if you and your gaming buddies, and it's in the rule book, you lose 10 points or gain 10 points, or whatever the hell, you don't have to play with that rule. So we'll just ignore it. Okay, great. Let's go. Right? Of course, it might inspire your gaming group, your friends, right, to get your models painted because, hey, you know what? My whole army's painted. Yours is not. Guess what? I get 10 extra points. Right? Good for a laugh. Right? But yeah, I mean, again, I can't believe that it's got to be said. I can't believe it's got to be said. Your hobby, you can do with it whatever you want. You spent the money on the fucking rule book. Guess what? You can take parts of that book and use them. You can take parts of that book and change them. You can take parts of that book and leave it out. You can play the game however you want. You can play the game however you want. But if you're playing within a group, make the changes known. Agree to the changes. Oh, we're going to play the game this way. We're leaving this. We're going to add this. Does that sound good to you? Yeah, sounds good to me. Let's play. Hey, that was a real fun game. I enjoyed leaving that out. I enjoyed playing with this edition. All right? Friendly game. You go to your local friendly gaming store, play within the gaming group there. Well, guess what? House rules there. If they say that's the way we're playing the game, then to be a good guest, guess what? You're playing the game that way. Too bad if you play the other way. Too bad if you think the rule is useless. Too bad. That's the way they play the game. You want to play there, you play the game. You go to a tournament. They play or not play with particular rules. Guess what? Be a good guest. Play by the way they play the game. I mean, it's pretty common. It makes, I mean, like, I don't understand how this is even an issue. I don't understand how this is an issue. Other than, don't be a dick. I mean, like, again, that's the rule, right? Don't be a dick. I can't believe I gotta say this. Ben Ellis. Hi, Kris. I placed a small item I found on Half Eldar for you and the guys in the playground chat on Discord in case it's interest, as a fair few have not seen it before. Let me see. You said you placed it in the playground? Heading over to Discord. Is it a video or is it like an article? Is it... okay. Let me see here. Oop. Yeah, he looks like he's like from the Ultramarines. It's not Tiberius, though. He's Ilian. Natas was born to a human mother on the world of Badab following the expulsion of the tyrant there. Even all that lore changed as well. In 912 of the current millennium, his father was an unknown Eldar mercenary. The youngster was gene tested at birth to accord with the law and subsequently taken into Imperial custody. He was reared in the government. Now, everybody's getting reared by the government. Compound by the Imperial mission, which took over the running of the Badab after the war. Along with other potential psychics, he undertook the journey to Earth in 924, where further tested led to the eventual soul binding in 925. From that point, Nastis, was recruited into the Administration as an astropath. He attained the ranks of second as perfect and eventually rose to hold the consulship for 4 years, helping to run the Adeptus Terra's advisory senate to the master of the Adeptus de Astra Telepathica. Following this, he undertook 4 years' service with the fleet, a further 2 years with the Dark Angel Marines, and was appointed as chief of Macragge Interstellar Communication Link under the jurisdiction of the Ultramarines. 965. Nastis is now 76 years old, current year 987, but thanks to his parentage, shows few signs of age. So, yeah, you can see all that kind of lore is retconned right to hell, right? But, where was this from? Is this from the compendium? Because I'm that looks like Rogue Trader era stuff. That looks like Rogue Trader era to me. If that illustration is legit. Because, I mean, there is a lot of fan-made shit floating around the internet as well. So, because, I mean, I mean, he, you know, again, it's the old, it's like D&D. It's fantasy, right? It's, you know, he's with this famous group and then with this famous group and he's traveled the universe and, you know, all these things and, you know, because Rogue Trader was more of an RPG than it was like a regular kind of tabletop, you know, battle game, as it were. Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, very interesting though. Thanks for posting that. I don't even know where the hell I am. Where the hell am I in these comments here? Oh, Ben, yeah, thank you. Rezio, I recently saw a pretty interesting conversion on that Jane Czar. Someone did a great job making her look like an incubi with demi-cleaves like Drezar. Cool mashup. Cool. TH, making house rules is one of my favorite parts of the hobby. Sure, right? I mean, it's your hobby. And if your gaming group wants to play with all sorts of crazy-ass rules, guess what? You can do it. Nothing's saying you can't do it. There's nobody going to come knocking at your door. The Gestapo is not going to come storming in your door and, you know, take you away. That's not going to happen. At least not yet. Aaron Seach, just don't be the guy that shows up with the 3D printed proxies of everything in an army. Well, we're heading down that road, man. That's the road. That's the future. He's coming in with the 3D printed models. I mean, sure, they're proxies, but whatever. That's where we're heading. That's the future. That's the future. James Kent, I wonder if it means in the new Blood Bowl, fully painted armies get an extra reroll. Oh, I wonder if that's something. Yeah, that's. Or I wonder if I wonder if it's a rule. I bet you that. I'm willing to bet that's a good guess, man. I'm willing to bet that's in there. If your team is fully painted, you get an extra point at the end of the game or a reroll or something. Yeah, that'd be funny. That would be funny. Now I'm gonna have to. Now you got me excited. Now I got to see if that's in there. No fucks given. Or Fuchs. No Fuchs given. I think what has kind of hurt 40k recently is that most people online showing gameplay, reviewing rules and armies seem to be mostly from highly competitive point of view. Yes, definitely. A lot of people seem to take anybody who plays this competitively seriously. Not to say that you shouldn't take them seriously or anything like that, but the information itself. When people say this unit sucks, that's very subjective. Because the game itself has so much randomness in it that, like, the game is just as good as rolling a d6 to see who wins. Whether or not you play it out, you know. There is so much randomness in the game that, yeah. So a unit that, and of course too, a unit performing well on paper. Well, the probability of that team, I think I've talked about this in the past. It doesn't matter until those dice are rolled. You can talk probability out your ass, but it doesn't matter until those dice are rolled. What the outcome is. That's what matters at that moment during that particular game. There's no way to predict that. There's no way to predict that outcome. And the only way to really determine whether or not a unit is good or bad is taking the same composition within that army, taking that particular unit to judge whether or not that unit is effective or not, play a scenario 10, 50 times, and record all those, like, not video, but I mean talking, keeping score and everything like that. Dice rolls, and what happens. And of course the opponent has to be the same. You're basically fighting a scenario 100 times, right? Then that's for that particular scenario against that particular army. Did that unit work out well? And if it falls below 50% and even lower, then yeah, that unit truly sucks. If it outperformed, then it was really good against that particular unit in that particular instance, right? There are way too many variables. To account for, to arbitrarily say a unit sucks or not. Because in some instances, it may outperform expectations, and in some, it may underperform. But to flat out say it sucks, it's useless. Talking out their ass. Because you can't know all those variables. Thermicus. Same applies if, as a Christian, I go to an atheist house for dinner. I'm not going to demand we say a prayer. I will respect their home and follow their customs. Exactly. That's exactly it, right? Let people live their lives. Don't fuck with them. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Again, pretty simple. But, these very simple rules, just elude some people. They just elude them. I don't know how or why. I can only assume they were brought up wrong. No fucks given. In my group, we use a lot of goofy freestyle rules like boss fights versus ridiculous strong stuff and interactive terrain, bridges, elevators, smelting pots with liquid metal, toxic waste tanks. Yeah. And you know what? Whatever adds excitement, right? Playing a game where, the storage tanks, they can explode if bullets are close by and the whole thing goes up and everybody takes a mortal wound. Why not? Right? Barrels, gas tanks, stuff like that. Bang, goes off. Oh, everybody within 3 inches takes a mortal wound. Why not? Right? It adds flavor. Adds fun. It makes the game fun. If you and your opponent are having fun and having some laughs and, even if you lose, when you're having a really good game is even if you're getting your butt kicked and you're still laughing your head off and having a good time, you're having a good time. Good times are had by all, right? And you're having a good game. If you are miserable and not having fun, well, then you got to examine why. Why is that the case? Why? Why is this occurring? Is it the game? Is it my opponent? Is it the way I play? Is it the way I view the game? Right? You have to self-reflect. Rogelshawn. Organizers usually require painted armies from participants. I've never seen an organized event with a gray plastic force, so it's redundant, really. Sure, yeah. And that's a rule that's been around for most tournaments for a long time. I think Ardboys, though, I don't think you had to, though. Ardboys, I don't think you had to have a painted army. You can play with gray plastic. Rogelshawn, the Ardbites will take you instead. Ardbites will show up at your door. Yeah, take you away. Yeah, probably. Their jackboots on. Speaking of jackboots, I just watched Snowpiercer, the show on Netflix. On Netflix. That was pretty darn good. I enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to his second season. And yeah. I just thought I'd change topics real fast here, but yeah, it was fun. What time are we at? Holy cramolies! Is that the time? 1:37? Have I been going on about not being a dick for an hour and 40 minutes? Damn. Reziel, Kris, do you care to speculate how GW will be able to stay in the game when 3D printing does take over? I don't feel like they can just sell files for minis without major piracy problems. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Because like we've talked about this in the past, where what if Games Workshop was to sell a 3D printer that had bundles, or you could download bundles from them, right? The files can still get transferred. Somebody can still break into the system, steal the files, right? How does once 3D printing is so prevalent that everybody's doing it, like a vast majority of people have access to them. It's everywhere, right? It's ambiguous. And what do? I don't know. I'm sure they have a team, I would think, where they're thinking. Now, mind you, I've always speculated 10 years. Maybe 9 years now, because I think it was about a year or so ago we were talking about this pretty heavily. But yeah. And honestly, I'm not going to voice my opinions on it as far as solutions are concerned, because honestly, one can make a living at it, preparing a company to roll over in technology and adopt new technology or drop technology, or so no, I wouldn't say, because honestly, you can get paid. You can get paid doing that. You can get paid. Ben Ellis, wise words from Kris. Don't be a dick. Words to live by. They are words to live by. Don't be a dick. It's pretty simple. You know what I mean? Like, you see somebody walking around and they're ugly as shit. You don't have to point at them and go, holy shit, you're ugly as shit. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. You can just hold your tongue and just, hi, how you doing? Nice day. Oh, yeah, you need some help? Sure, no problem. Right? Don't have to be a dick. Nothing saying that you can't think those things in your head. By all means, you're free to think whatever you want to think, Just don't be a dick. Rogel Sean, I've always just bought the minis. I love and learn to make them work. Simple as that. It extends to factions as a whole, so what if Imperial Fists suck now? I will continue to play them bolters galore. Sure. Again, whatever makes you happy, do it. If you like it a particular way, by all means, do it. Jatham, well, it's Wheaton's Law. Simple, yet difficult to master for some. Sure. Again, there are some with learning disabilities out there. I understand that. I understand that a lot, some people just, don't grasp the don't be a dick rule. But, people with learning disabilities still can learn. Just because you have a learning disability doesn't mean you can't learn. It just means it's going to take you a little longer. But you got to try. You can still learn. No fucks given. I haven't watched the Snowpiercer show yet. Does the Willy Wonka theory apply to the show as it does to the movie? I've heard about that video. I have not watched it. My son told me about the video a while ago. I was watching a show and I had heard about it. And so I have not watched it. So no spoilers. And I didn't watch the video because I didn't want the video to spoil anything about the show before I had seen it. So, yeah, that's why. Rezio, I wonder if they would choose the same team that has developed the 40K app. LOL. I don't know. I mean, like, no, I don't think that would carry over. The people who do the 40K app are programmers. And programmers aren't going to solve this issue other than if you were going to go the route of GW getting into the 3D printing game, right? But yeah, I realize you're making a joke there, And when the fuck is this Battle Scribe, or not Battle Scribe, I called it Battle Scribe. When is this, what is it called? God damn it. Battle Forge. When is this freaking Battle Forge coming out? When? Does anybody know? When is Battle Forge coming out? Like, I bought this app. It's great having all the rules. It's great having all easy access to everything. That's great. Wonderful. But this, and whatever this comes out, this Battle Forge, this has to be better than Battle Scribe. It has to be at least the same, if not better than Battle Scribe. If it is not, if it lacks in any way, shape, or form as Battle Scribe, then I'm definitely dropping this app. I'll definitely drop it. But it's been months now. Where the fuck is this Battle Forge app, portion of the app? Because, like, I'm considering dropping the app right now. So, where the fuck is it? WTF is the app. David Brunfeld. Kris, is GW in the same camp as books or music industry? Music was not killed by it yet. Nope. Paper books are not going out of style. Definitely. Right? But the sales are diminished. Music industry suffered greatly with the advent of the internet becoming so popular. Paper books, sales of paper books diminished with the advent of PDFs and consuming our media on the internet. I agree. Are they going away? Is Games Workshop going away? Are miniatures, plastic miniatures from Games Workshop going away? Of course not. Of course not. But they are going to see a loss. They're going to see a dramatic loss. Now, the dramatic loss might occur over a long time. Again, like I said, I guess to the point where, you know, you can buy a miniature painted out of your printer, right? I'm speculating 10 years. It could be faster than that. It could be 5 years. It could be 4 years. It could be 1 year. It could be next year. Hero Forge apparently can send you their printed model right out of the printer, printed, painted, bang. You can make the color scheme on the thing, boom, print it, and have the model, and you didn't even have to touch a paintbrush. Okay? That's today. So how long until that's in everybody's hands? That's the guess. Right? Don't know. Again, anybody who speculates and claims to have any kind of knowledge is talking out their ass because it's speculative. It's entirely speculative. And anybody who's talking tech, they don't know the fucking future. It's, again, everybody's talking out their ass. So, and just like me right now, I'm talking out my ass. But you guys know me. I talk on my ass all the time. And also with my foot in my mouth. So, you know, this is a foot. There's your thumbnail right there. So yeah, and agree. And like I said before, we talked about this. I've talked about this in the previous episodes. You know, just like when photography came out, it's a new technology. And did it kill people who were making? Didn't kill the people, but did it kill the market for portraits, paintings, and you know, paintings? Sure, the market declined. But those things are still present today, right? Photography. When regular film photography and digital photography, right? Did it kill film photography? No. It greatly diminished it. It's not as prevalent, right? So, these new technologies, do they completely kill the previous thing? No, they don't. But the market is greatly diminished. So, can Games Workshop, within this niche market, survive when 3D printing becomes the dominant factor? The dominant way in which people consume miniatures. And shit, they don't even have to paint them at that point. Painting becomes irrelevant, right? Yes, there's still going to be people painting miniatures, but the market will be diminished. Commission painting definitely will be diminished. Definitely. That's one. And you know, commission painting is so scatterbrained as it is right now. It is such a bullshit game that probably will just disappear. That'll probably just disappear altogether. It'll just become entirely local. Nobody's going to want to pay for painting. Who cares? So, you know. Reziel, yeah, Kris, I was hardcore joking since the app has been so well executed. LOL again. Alex Lego. Lego? Am I saying that right? I think the reason Battle Forged is taking so long is that they know it needs to be perfect. So maybe when COVID is over, there's no reason they can't work on that app from home. All the programmers, there's no reason that all the programmers just have to be at the computer. The computers all have to be networked together. What's the difference if they're in the office, working away on the program, sitting side by side, as opposed to having a voice program up and talking while they're working on the program? What's the difference? There's no difference. So, no, they totally can be working on it right now. The excuse of COVID is not applicable in this situation. They can easily complete the program from home and working together as a team and have all the computers networked together and sharing information. There's absolutely no reason why it can't be done. It's an excuse. It's an excuse. Why are they making an excuse? If they are making that excuse, I haven't heard about that, so I don't know, but yeah. No fucks given. Battlescribe legit has been the glue holding the community together. I don't know about that. Because it provides everyone with the ability to delve into all faction rules to scheme and discuss army composition tactics. Sure. I mean, holding the community together, that's a kind of a bold claim because the community isn't all gamers. There's also painters. There's also people who ingest lore. So, the whole community? Not really. Oh, excuse me. The people that hold the community together are the people the extroverts who keep all the introverts together. And when gaming groups lose their extroverts, that's when they fall apart. That's what keeps your community together is the extroverts, keeping all the introverts, herding cats kind of thing. Reziel, my hope is they can find a new model that works and doesn't make their prices even more exclusionary. I think we all agree it's a luxury hobby, but pricing still is important. It's a luxury hobby, yeah. And pricing, they can make the price. Value is subjective. They can price it whatever they want. If people pay it, guess what? It's worth that price. That's what the price. That's how it works. I mean, that's capitalism, man. Like we've talked about this in the past. The job is left nut. Video did kill the radio star, though. It did, because some of them motherfuckers was ugly. Mind you, though, Mick Jagger still survived. And he was popular from radio, and then videos came out, and he still had a job. So, if Mick Jagger still make it and still make music to this day, did it really? Because he's an ugly motherfucker. Old Man Logan, did optical drives kill floppy drives? Oh wait, yeah, they did. But that's not the same as did. Because basically you're saying like that's a different way of a technology increasing in ability as opposed to the technology itself. Digital storage, right? Memory. It became more efficient, so it killed its predecessor, right? It's just like telephones. Did it kill mail service? No, it didn't, right? Because we can communicate instantaneously with a telephone, whereas people used to communicate just entirely by letter. People still write letters today. We still get mail. The mail service still exists. And telephones. Well, telephones have changed dramatically. Now everybody texts. So did that kill the telephone? No. It just the technology, the medium just changes. And so, what does the future hold? We don't know. Nobody foresaw texting becoming the norm. Who the fuck saw texting becoming the norm in which people communicate? Nobody. 30 years ago, nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw even the rise of the internet. In the 80s? No. Maybe somebody who was really coked out of the head maybe saw it, but that was the kind of backroom talk that this guy's like, oh, no, man, everybody's going to be buying everything online. And, yeah. Aaron Seach, the whole Battlescribe situation is bullshit. I get GW wanted to protect their IP, but really, how is Battlescribe doing any harm? Especially when we do not have a list building app from GW. Well, GW has had list building apps before. They weren't apps then, they were just programs. But anyway, they were a thing when you still used to get them on CD drives. So there has been times when Games Workshop has had army builders out there. Now, yeah, it's hard for Games Workshop to fight Battlescribe on it because Battlescribe does not make the lists. The people make the lists, right? It's kind of like file sharing, and it's a loophole. It's a loophole. You know, I mean, you can make your argument either way, so, and be right. You know, so. I think Games Workshop, rather than chase one demon, concentrate on another. Okay, yeah, that's a loophole. Till the laws change and clear that up. Okay, right? I mean, always be mindful because, I mean, like, yeah, Games Workshop does have to hold on to their IP, because if they lose their IP, then the company just completely falls apart and it all becomes the Wild West and it's all up for grabs. And then what? Warhammer 40,000 becomes the instrument of anybody. It becomes open source and it'll have many different flavors, and, you know, it won't have its own flavor. Where the hell am I? Alex, I meant it as a time frame, not as an excuse. Oh, well. Still, I mean, yeah, with COVID, no, it can still get done. The work can still get done. Ben, they can work remotely. They're not rendering anything of any magnitude. Even rendering, even compiling the code can be done on the machines. Like, it can all be done from home. None of that work has to be done at the building, at the headquarters. I can't imagine what requires them to be at the headquarters other than having a manager over their shoulder saying, "Oh, well, how's this going?" I mean, yeah. John J. Battlescribe confuses the hell out of me, and I can't find a good tutorial. It's not that hard. It's just you got to find all the lists and everything like that, and you got to wait until they're updated. So, as soon as the codex drops, you got to wait until somebody compiles that and uploads it. Reziel, Battlescribe is a good quality for a free app. I've seen some issues with it, but usually a major help in the game. Oh yeah, I've used Battlescribe many times. Many times. Old Man Logan, I think my point is what you just said. We don't know. Sometimes efficiency can kill a previous technology. Other times, no. Well, but see that... But the idea of optical drives killing floppy drives, it changes the way we, save things. Sure. Optical drives did kill floppy drives, just like the thumb drive killed optical drives, right? And now, because of broadband internet, we don't even really even need, thumb drives anymore. We don't need them. Because we can just download off our phone. Our broadband internet is so fast now that we can just download these massive files and we don't have to worry about storage so much, right? So even CD burners, DVD burners, right? Blu-ray burners. We don't have to worry about those really anymore. Those aren't really a thing, right? They're still around, yes. But our need for them, the rate in which we're consuming them has dropped off dramatically, right? So, yeah. The prominence... The prominence of these devices, these smart devices, right? Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that coming. That this would become an all-in-one device. We have our entire lives on this device. So, yeah. Holy shit, there's 3 minutes left of the show, and I have not done an email yet. Jeez Louise. Okay. I'm skipping through some of these questions here, comments. Thermicus, in the early 90s, there was an AT&T commercial laying out texting and video conferencing and video calling. Very interesting. Okay. Rezia, are there any emails because you're almost into overtime? I know. and we're going to get into some emails in a moment. Old Man Logan, same with digital books. Really no need to have paper books anymore. No, there's no need. Well, the PDF, right? There's no need, but books are still here. Books are still relevant, and there's plenty of us reading books. There's plenty more not reading the book, but reading it on their smart device, right? How many people are actually reading a physical book as opposed to reading it on a smartphone? I have been reading The Horse Heresy on my smartphone. I don't have the books. I have the books. I bought them in a Humble Bundle, but yeah, I don't have the physical books, and I don't really care. I mean, I have physical books, right? I'm not going to bother moving my camera, but anyway, yeah. All right. Yeah, let's do an email. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down, but here it comes. Let's do this. Email time. Email time. Oh, is this done? Oops, wrong one. Wrong window. There we go. That was the Instagram window. This one is from our good buddy Ben. Good afternoon there, Kris, and everyone else. I have attached a long overdue offering. Kind regards, Ben, with a little monkey. A monkey. So here are some... What the hell are these guys called? The guys with all the melt-guns? These three guys that had all the Eldar players up in arms about fire dragons. Yeah, I remember that one. Anyway. Very cool. Mold lines. Ben. Mold lines. Mold lines! Come on, you know Kris about mold lines. You know Kris and his thoughts on mold lines. Ben's work, really nice. The first thing that stands out, of course, is that gradient on the gun casing itself. That nice building of deep tone towards the red, towards the edges. Really, really nice. I like your painting on the gemstones. The gray of the armor is very nice. Again, very, very effective dry brushing. Ben, have you ever considered going dry brushing with just at one step? Base coating, maybe an initial blend, even try wet blending. Dry brushing, just a simple one phase, and then doing an edge. Combining all three technologies, all three techniques on a miniature. As an exercise. Just pick a model, any model, random, and give it a shot. Try wet blending an initial shade. Don't use any shade washes. Well, you can, but I mean, if you try not to. Blend an initial shadow right to your base tone, right? And then dry brush an initial highlight, and then edge a final highlight, and then maybe edge another highlight, or even try a little bit of glazing. Just an idea. I mean, you appear to have a very great great grasp of dry brushing, and using it effectively. Really nice work on those eye lenses too. Well, you have a really great grasp on painting. A little blend on the power chords too. It's cool. Although, I will say, Marines can piss off. But really nice work, Ben. Thank you for sending that in. Awesome stuff. Sorry, I gotta move my head around here. I gotta find this stuff here. Oh, geez, we got a few more too. Okay, we're getting to some of these. We're doing this. We'll do this. Next email is from where the hell am I? Here we go. It's from Alex Ashiro. Good afternoon, Kris and fellow monkey. After about a decade of hobbying, I decided it was about time I tackle a big project. What better project could I find for my Death Guard than Mortarion? He's not perfect, as I had started to cut more corners the closer I got to the 2-month mark of working on him, but I am very satisfied with what I managed to achieve. As a side note, before we get to the photos, I intend to get some Nurgle demons to add to this Death Guard army. I wanted to make them stand apart from the mortals by doing something different with their bases. Coincidentally, I bought a Greater Demon of Nurgle from this artist I found online. Credit below. I love what he did with the base so much that I stole the idea and applied it to my Mortarion. He is a demon after all. Anyways, here are the photos for this week's offering. Enjoy, and don't be gentle with the CNC. Don't be gentle with the CNC. Alex, a.k.a. Ashiro7. Ashiro7? 7? Are there 7 Ashiros? Are there 6 more than you? So, here is his Mortarion, and I like it. I like the flames. I like the nice purple tones through the wings. I like that transition through the membranes of the wings. It looks like a nice clean paint job. He looks like Death Guard. The oxidization in the metals. I like it. Nice. And the base. Yeah. Oh. Right. Right. Actually, I like what you did there. I like how you did your base, actually, because you got a nice smooth glossiness on that base. I like what you did there. I like the flames, like on his scythe. I like that. That's cool. The wings, transition through the wings is really nice. Yeah, the work you did on the fire is really nice. Would I be correct in assuming you used an airbrush to achieve that glowiness around it? Would I be correct? Nurglings. I like me some Nurglings, man. I think with the flames along the as they hit the ground, I think could have been a little deeper. And the rock, I don't think had to be this saturated a green. You could have added a little bit of gray to it and just knock a bit of that saturation out. Just so it doesn't conflict visually. Okay, so anybody, can we see this properly? Yeah, we can. Some of you may or may not know the artist who made the model on the left. Not made it, but painted it. I didn't make it. I assembled it and painted it. I just spoiled it. Spoiler. Some of you might recognize that model on the left. I did that one a while ago. And I had that one up for sale. And Mr. Alex here purchased it. And it sits in his collection now, along with this model. And you know what? He fits alongside this model as well. And so really nice work. I like the way you did the base. Did you do it the same way I did the base? I'm pretty sure I showed how I did that base. No? I think you're here today, aren't you, Shiro? Didn't I see your name in the comments? Yeah, Alex. Yeah. Yay. Okay. Well, he says right here. He says, Scenic Water with Tesseract Glow, Xandri Dust, Neon Yellow for the base. And yes, it was a lot of airbrush. Okay. Very cool. Awesome. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, so he fits right in. He looks good next to the one that I painted. And the colors, using that green, bright green flame and, bold colors, they fit together. That purple of the hood, purple in the wings, purple hood. It all looks really, really great next to each other. And, yeah. Awesome work, Alex. Thank you for sending that in. And, yeah. That would be the only thing I would recommend. I mean, there would be other nitpicky type things, but not really. I mean, you were getting on in time. You wanted to get them done. I understand that completely. The brazers, the metal areas, maybe a bit of oxidization, right? The patina and stuff like that. The rocks on the base, I probably would have gone with a desaturated tone and deepen the flames up as they, get closer to the ground. Just so that, they don't visually kind of, because when you look at the model further out, like here, let me see here. Let's go back to the shot here. Yeah. The flames, as they come close to the base, they all kind of blend, right? And visually, they don't mesh the intent, I think it's kind of a glow you're going for there. I think is what I'm interpreting here, but yeah, I think it didn't have to be quite as intense as that. Especially the flames don't have to be quite as bright coming down like that on his cloak. But again, that's minor. That's just me offering input. That's kind of the direction. That's kind of where I would have gone with it. And yeah. But I mean, what you did there, I mean, like, you know, and I'm sure in person that looks really, it's probably not as quite as blending together. But yeah, I like how nice and smooth and liquidy yours is. Mine, I don't know, maybe it's just the time as time has gone on. But yeah. Really nice work though. Really nice work. I like it. I like it a lot. Bravo. 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 They watch over my pile of shame. Urging me on now. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I liked it. I like it a lot. Very good stuff. Sorry, I gotta reach my head around here. We are going to jump into another one because holy camolies, we're 8 minutes over time. This one is from James of Kent. Howdy, Kris. So while watching this afternoon, I did my greatest ever conversion piece, a human Eldar hybrid. Cool. The pieces blend seamlessly, and this is officially tabletop ready. No CNC needed, as I know perfection when I make it. James of Kent. That's a bold claim, James. That's a bold claim. And you know what? That's exactly what I envisioned from a human Eldar hybrid. He looks like he's rocking an air guitar. Thank you, James, for sending that in. And anybody who was wondering what an Eldari human hybrid would look like, bang, it was right there. It was right there. Alrighty, last email we're gonna get to. And yeah, I lost my train of thought there. This one is from our good buddy Zach. Monkey Lord, the time is nigh for my much anticipated Light of Ethereon to appear on the official Way the Brush YouTube show. So here it is in all his glory, his glowy, ghostly form. I was gonna say gory. His gory, ghostly form. And honestly, I just like how it looks here. I know you painted it already, but I kind of like how this looks, honestly. If I'm being honest. And I am being honest. Because you know me. I'm Mr. Honesty. Again, like, brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. It's a fantastic sculpt. It's hollow. I've said it many, many times. I hope this would be the way that they would treat the Phoenix Lords for the Eldar, making them look like hollow armor. Even Thousand Suns, they should do Thousand Suns in this fashion where they look hollow. Here he is with some paint on him, and fantastic. Zach's been posting this guy on Discord and keeping us up to date with his progress. And of course, this is now his debut on Way the Brush in fully painted form, I do believe. I don't think we've shown it, right? Well, of course not, right? Because if Zach, I'm going to have to take Zach at his word here. If it is not been shown, it hasn't been shown. If it's not here, it's not anywhere. And of course, yeah, getting a look at his bum side. His bum side. There's a light in the base? Or is it all fiber optic? I thought it was just an LED inside the torso. Is there a light in the base? I am confused. Here he is without the lights on. And it's painted like the way he's got the rest of his army with this red and bone. We saw those, I think, last week or the week previous. But very, very cool. Really good paint job. I like the paint job. I don't really have anything to say about the paint job. It's good. It looks good. It's consistent with his army. And it's done. Or is the light on? Is the light on? Maybe the light is on. Because I can see it kind of in the sleeve there. I see a glow. Yeah, that's a better picture. Look at that. Go for some contrast. Like a shadowy, like you got here. You know, and that makes the glow really stand out. That looks really cool. There we go. Right in shadow. Is your soap in your mug? I realize that's not pertinent to the picture here, but is your soap in your mug? Why? Maybe saving space. Gotcha. Saving space. And here he is next to his rest of his army as he's got it. Why didn't you do the divided stuff? You know, like the plumes in the hair, how you have like the red and white in the hair. How come you didn't do it on his hair? I think that would have been excellent. I'm not saying go back, but you know, you might want to go back. Gertie's gonna talk shit. He's gonna talk shit to me now. I know it. I don't even know if Zach's here right now. I don't know if I've seen his name today. He might not be here. He'll probably catch us after and probably give me shit about something. Alex, that glow gives me chills. Love it. Yeah, the glow is just really fantastic. Yeah. Jabba's Left Nut. This is that's Kris porn right there. Yeah, I know. I totally dig the glow. And the way he had it in just the initial build, just the sculpt with that glow, immediately already invokes imagery of the character, and you already get a sense of the model, right? Just the simple addition of the light. And the light upon a model, you know what I mean? Like already, like a fantastic sculpt with just the addition of light. Bang. You know what I mean? It's why, you know, Michelangelo's David is just a fantastic piece. It needs nothing other than the light of the room for you to enjoy the work involved. And that is really good sculpting, right? That is really good sculpting. It doesn't even need paint. You can just paint it with light and it's fantastic. And I did that kind of with the new, the hell's that guy called? Void Dragon, the new Void Dragon. And it was just playing with light on its surface. And I applied a metallic on its surface. And there was some work, as you'll see in the video, there was some work on the metal, but it was mainly just letting the model be and just playing with light on the model. A great sculpt doesn't need paint. A great sculpt does not need to be painted. Rezio, seeing that one on the Discord, very awesome. Got to steal the idea for something. Yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely. Playing with LEDs. Man, I've been meaning to up my LED game for, well, I've been talking this for a while. Upping my LED game. And yeah, Disco Duke, that is a cool idea. It is. It's very cool. And yeah, like if I was going to do that model, I'd definitely steal that idea. I'd totally steal that idea. And say it was mine. I'm just saying that because Eldari's not here today, so. Now here we're gonna quickly jump over because there's no other comments right now, right? Yeah, Disco Duke was the last one. Yeah. A new little part of the show where we're still okay. Where basically I'm gonna head over to the Instagram side of things, and we are going to look at some images that show up on the Instagrams, because some of the stuff on Instagram doesn't show up in Discord, doesn't show up anywhere else, because some people, that's the only way they want to be social is Instagram, and that's fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. So for anybody out there who, you know, just wants to share on Instagram, use the hashtag Way of the Brush, because I'm going to have this segment of the show where we look at what's showing up on the Instagram using the hashtag Way of the Brush. And of course, my shit will show up on it because, well, it's mine. And of course, you know, have that image there, the Void Dragon. Here, this is one that I was talking about. You know, painting with the light. This is a light painting. It's a photography term, basically, where you do a long exposure and you move the light around. Anybody who's familiar with this concept knows how I did that, of course. But yeah, there's no Photoshop. There's no trickery there. Really all I did was just punch up the saturation, really, just a little bit. I think I've added like 5% saturation to the image, which is not a lot, but yeah. So anybody who was curious about that one, did we get to this model last week? I feel like we did, but I don't think we did. Avdominus Belly, very, very cool. Nice work on that cloak. It's a real cool color scheme. I like the bronze. It's what, the centaurs or whatever? Or is it made up? Or is it going with his own made up chapter thingy? Because again, they got the Spartan helmets, so maybe it's a made up thing. because the way his logo for his name here kind of strikes me as this is kind of his own thing. So, or her. I don't know if it's him or her. More of my own bullshit. Oh, this one here. I saw this one. Disco Duke, Disco Mini Painter. I seen you had posted the work in progress of this one. I really enjoy this. This is really fun. Do you got the work in progress? Yeah, I love the texture on the back. Yeah, I don't think I've seen the painted version of this, so you must have just posted this. Oh, 1 day ago. Maybe I did see it. I don't know. Did I like it? Did I give it a like? I didn't. So I didn't see it. Because I usually like everything of Disco's. Because, you know, Disco is a regular monkey folk. And we got to see each other. Did we not? Yeah, we did. When I was in the UK. We got to say hi. In fact, I think you're on my Instagram. Because we took a pic in front of the tank. Anyway. Yeah, I really like this. This is a lot of fun. Yeah. It's ghostly. It's ghosts and roses. What's not to like? What's not to like? Of course, we have this one here. Brother Otis. Working on his Alpha Legion. I believe Brother Otis said he was working on the blends and such. And so this is a piece he's working on. And it's really nice. It's a great start. I don't have anything to critique on it right now because, again, it's a work in progress. Oh, I didn't give it a like. I didn't give it a like. There we go. I gave it a like. I gave it a like. Or a heart. I gave it a heart. Whatever that means. I don't know. This is Brother Otis's palette. I was teasing about this because I said it looked like Jackson Pollock painting or a Rorschach test. And yeah. Oh, yeah. He can sell this. You can sell this. This is modern art. This is modern art. You can sell that. Brother Otis. I don't know if you're here today, but yeah. Ooh, what's this one? Joshua Jones. Darthru ingot from a friend paint job was not done, so finished it with some ice effects where I could. Cool. Oh, like you did inside the runes? Very cool. I'll give it a like. There we go. There you go, Joshua Jones. You got a like. You got a heart. Ooh, a heart. Very cool. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with like doing collaborative type of thing like that, you know? There's another one from Brother Otis. Yeah, it's a really nice blend on there. Very nice. Going from that deep, deep blue in the bottom there, going up to almost that lime green at the top. I can see that. I look forward to where you go with this, man. I look forward to where you go with it. This is from Alex Necron. Ooh, I like the transition in the guns. I like the transitions in the green. Very nice. Did we look at this? Oh, yeah, we must have, because I gave it a heart. We musta. I think the Terminator. This is Alex's. Yeah. Oh, I gave it a like, too. I must have seen this already, then. Wow. Short-term memory. New t-shirt. Spoiler. Plug. What is best in life? To paint models, take care of your brush, and hear the lamentations of the unpainted. Ooh, Jane Czar. Did we see this one already? I think we did. Yeah, I'm going to paint my Jane Czar. Oh, I didn't give it a like. There we go. Gave it a like now. Yeah, I'm going to paint my Jane Czar. Not like that. Ooh, what's this? Did we look at this one? No, I don't think we did. Oh, this is from Aaron. Nice. Very, very cool. That turntable's fast, dude. It's making me dizzy. It's making me dizzy. Ooh, dinosaur. Did we look at the dinosaur? Yeah, we did. We looked at the dinosaur. We looked at the dinosaur. We look at the chaplain? I don't think I looked at the chaplain. Oh, it's from Ave. Ave Dominus? Dominus? Or is it Ave Dominus? Dominus? Is it Ave Dominus? He's probably like, no, you fucking moron. It's more of my bullshit. Ooh, Terminators. Now, these are from that box set, right? The ones that were in Japan. I like that. I like that dude's face. That's fun. Shaky brush. I feel like we've seen this one. I didn't give it a heart, so I gave it a heart now. I like it. It might be a little too many colors that play on it, because I feel like, you know, we got the purple, the blue, the red, and the green. It feels like there's a lot of colors going on. But that's how they want to paint it. That's how they paint it. Gonna do what you gonna do. Oh. Some cultists. Cultists de cult. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody posted art. I think this one is somebody just who's doing their thing, and it just happens to do away the brush thing, you know. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's from Alex. Oh, I gave it a thumbs up. There we go. I beat myself to it. I beat myself. This guy's like, you owe me $5. I'm gonna hit you with my fucking hammer. Flesh tears. Very cool. Oh, it's from Ave. Very cool. Ooh, did we? Yeah, I already saw this one. Okay. It's from Joshua Jones. Bloodthirster. Who's this? Yeah, we saw this one. Because I gave it a heart. Ooh, what's this? Eldar tank. Shaky brush. I like that. It's kind of got that 80s vibe to it. But I dig it. Nice work on the gemstones. Yeah, very good. Yeah, das is good. It's a chrome demon. I kind of like it as all chrome like that. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, man. I'm not going to lie. I like it. Some more of my own bullshit in here. Ooh, Mephiston. Have I seen the Mephiston? I have not. Shaky brush. Nice work on the sword. The cloak. I like the freehanding on the blood drops on the robes. Nice work on the highlights and the flesh. Overall, nice work. Yeah, the plasma glow. Very good. Yeah. Some damn good work there. Ooh, old school Necron. Ooh. Is there sound? Oh, birds chirping. Okay. I don't give a shit about the birds chirping. All right, I think we're done. All right. Oh, look at this. It's from Alex. Yeah, I think because we saw a bunch of these last week, right? A bunch more of my bullshit. Very, very cool. Alrighty. So, Way the Brush hashtag. Use it. Or use it or lose it. But very, very cool. Awesome stuff. Yeah. Do I have any coffee left? No. Dry. Bone dry. Any other comments here? Disco Duke. Yeah, we sure did at Warhammer World. Yeah, we did. That was good times. Good times. James Kent. I love the Alpha Legion dude. Yeah, it's really good work from Brother Otis. Really good work. Aaron Seach. I broke that fucking thing 3 times while painting it. Cool model, but it was a thorn in my ass. Oh, the Caradon Overlord thing. Yeah, that spin table. Holy shit. The turntable? Spin table. Turntable. Fucking Aaron is like throwing jams out there. Ooh. Anyway. I don't know where I was going with any of that. I think we're done. We're done. Yeah, there's no emails. We got through all our emails. We got through our Instagram portion of the show, so we're all good. Yeah. Did we do our regular thing? Alerts? Jesus, I don't have my thing. Okay. I was checking my email real fast here. Yeah, okay. I was like, oh no. Was I showing my credit card information on the thing? GW's email of the week. Nah, just some Warcry shit. Ooh, Necromunda. Enter the House of Iron. Oh, all the Orlok stuff. Oh, and that new building thing. Yeah, that's cool. Titanicus is getting some updates. New monolith from the Necrons and those obelisks or whatever. Those are cool. I don't have no idea what those are. I know somebody's going to explain it. I don't care. Don't bother explaining it because I don't care. If you're brand new to this hobby, you want some help with the color scheme, you want some help with the painting or particular terminology, you're just brand new and you just need some help, feel free to ask your questions. If you're attending live, you can ask them in the chat, whichever direction it's in for you. And then you can also submit your question to Kris@wayofthebrush.com, central hub of all this silliness. It's in the description below. If If you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send them off as links to other sites because it just won't do it. Of course, waythebrush.com is central hub of all the Sonos, has links for all social medias as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling there 24/7. Join us on the Discord. Also, you'll find at waythebrush.com links for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at waythebrush.com. And you'll also find a link for Patreon support. It's how I keep the lights on. It's how I keep this all rolling. And, you know, huge thank you to all my patrons who currently support. And so, if you consider Patreon support, there are varying tiers of support. So click whatever makes sense to you. And a huge thank you for everybody. And all the new people who just recently signed up. Huge thank you. Huge thank you to everybody. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, commenting, sharing the video, all that stuff helps as well. Helps the channel get populated and everything like that. And it feeds the algorithm gods or whatever bullshit like that. So huge thank you. You know, sharing the video, that's a big one. Sharing the video, like when, you know, somebody says, when you're visiting on a forum or in Facebook or whatever, and somebody says, I need help with this. Here's this guy. He made a video on it. Bang. You're helping me out. That helps. That helps. Believe it or not, that helps. So, huge thank you. Speaking of thank yous, big thank you to Carl, a.k.a. Guymere Alfer, a.k.a. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out. We always take time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us amongst the living. He's moved off to the spirit world. We always take time to thank Carl for creating email jingles that play before the email segment of the show. So always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my big brother Evan for taking time out of his busy day to create the intro, outro music that plays at the beginning and end of the show. So always much love to my baby bro Evan. And of course, if you're into rare comics, check him out, EB Comics. I'm sure many of you have collections and some old comics, some rarities, and you need them. He might have them. Check him out. He might have what you're looking for. He might. He might not, but he might. But he might not. But he might. We done with comics here? I have Aaron's last one hasn't changed, so I don't think we have changed much. Jeez, why'd that crash like that? Did the show crash at any point during this? No, I don't know. I have no idea. No, that's all fine. Everything's good. Everything is fine. It's all fine. It's all good. And with that, we're at the 30-minute OT, which means that we're done for the day. So enjoy the rest of your day. Get some painting done. You know, go hug a loved one. Read a book. Play a game. Pet a cat or a dog. Share a smile with somebody. Make somebody laugh. Don't be a dick. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you. And I will see you guys later. I will. I'll see you guys. I'll see every single one of you later. Every single one. Even you. Right? No, move him out of the way.